This is our charter a week or two back out from Largs with Sail Away yacht charters. Now, we were really lucky with the weather again. We just seemed to hit microclimates quite a lot, so the weather was absolutely wonderful. Lovely sunny day and a decent force 4, and we're heading down to Lamlash on the first day down on the Isle of Arran. And that was actually Richard on the helm. He's it's first time in a yacht, first time helming, and it's a Bavaria 46 that we're on. So kudos to him for giving it a go. First off, and he absolutely aced it. He's a natural. He loved it, you know. And having the time of his life there by the looks of things. So the weather was great, as I say, force 4. Boat, just easy speed, lovely, lovely boat. Bavarias, I always find, are very fit for purpose, and this Bavaria 46 was a fast yacht. So we're cracking on about 8 knots or so. That's everybody doing what they do best. And we're going to passage down to Lamlash. We paid for the mooring ball by flying the drone across with the mooring fee and landing it in the cafe car park. And the owner was kind enough to take the tenner and give it to the mooring ball businessman. And that's us doing what we do best in the evening. We're just drinking ambitious quantities of alcohol in Lamlash Harbour. This is the next day. This is up at Tighnabruaich on the West Kyle, just on the other side of the Isle of Bute. Now, we were going to be on the eastern side, but the wind was funneling right down the eastern Kyle, and it was blowing up to 30 knots. So we were going to go to Collintrave on the East Kyle, but it was just too windy to be comfortable. So we moved across to Tighnabruaich and had a few beers at the Kames Hotel, and just overnighted there on one of their mooring balls. And well, that's the weather again. As I say, we were lovely weather. We were really lucky. And all the Kyles of Bute, you know, just the Firth of Clyde generally, wonderful sailing area. And just that little trip up from the Eastern Kyle through the Burnt Isles Narrows, and there's up at the top there, you can just about see the head of the Isle of Bute, and that was Calais Harbour, Loch Ridden, which you just can't see, slightly off to the left. Just a lovely cruising ground, and very sheltered as well. You know, our normal cruising ground is the North Sea, and of course the Firth of Clyde's just not like that at all. The conditions are just so different. So we loved it. And this is Tarbert. We just stayed for a couple of hours just to fill up the water tanks, stock up on the beers, wines, spirits, whiskies, rum, port, anything else known to man. And then we were off again. So nice little stop in Tarbert, and then our way was next up to Otter Ferry, which we went up this is us up the Isle, up the Loch Fyne, and blowing, you know, up force 5 or so, I would say here. Up touching 6 occasionally. There's Duncan on the helm doing what he does best. We're tramming along. I think we hit 10 knots this leg. Easy 8.5 knots. Again, as I say, lovely boat. Champagne sailing conditions, absolutely wonderful. So we had a lovely time going up there. It was just great. And up to Otter Ferry, so that's just past the spit there. So there's Otter Ferry. There's a little bit of land you need to be a bit careful of. So we're just heading up that way and having a ball on the way up. But Sail Away, run by Wilson and Andrew Malone, charter company. Thanks to them for letting us have their Bavaria 46 Calico Moon for this charter. And again, as I say, lovely boat and thoroughly maintained, meticulous maintenance, and wonderful company to charter from. So I'd highly recommend Sail Away at Largs Marina. Very accommodating, even of a group like us. Drunken hooligans. So this is Otter Ferry. There's the spit just in the background that you can't quite see. We're just spinning round towards the pub, which is the oyster catcher, and we had a meal in there in the evening. And you know, it's worth it just for the place alone, no matter the fact there's a pub there, which is really good. Great choice of beers, and just a very special place. We've been there a couple of times before, and it's wonderful. And you know, we had a lovely meal, and much more alcohol was consumed than was good for us, and some rather silly things happened there as well, but that's what we do best. And there's some of the fellas. We're just waiting for the pub to open, actually, looking very despondent, waiting to be allowed in. And there it is, the Oyster Catcher pub, Otter Ferry. Bit of a drive to get to if you're going from somewhere else, but by boat it's absolutely ideal. It's a really lovely spot, just halfway up Loch Fyne, and then if you look further up Loch Fyne, all the way up north, which is where we're looking at the moment, that goes all the way up to the oyster. What's it called? The Loch Fyne Oyster Bar is up at the top. This is the spit at Otter Ferry. Now this is low water, so you can see the spit extending all the way out to sea. But at high tide you can't see that spit. There's just a starboard cardinal mark to keep you off that, or rather a starboard mark to keep you off that, and you could walk across it all the way along it, which is what we did at low water when we arrived. But then at high tide you can't see it at all, so it's quite a dangerous place if you don't look at your charts. Just be careful of that spit. It extends quite a long way out, and that's us settling in for the night at the Oyster Catcher, just outside it. Now we're heading back down. This is the first, I think, of the leg down to Rothesay. Wind died off quite a lot. There's Paul at the helm doing a light winds tack, but the wind died off to nothing pretty much after a mile or two, so it was absolutely wonderful. We had to get on, so after a couple of miles we just got the sails in and we just had to motor. But even though we were motoring, it was absolutely lovely, just heading down the coast and dodging in through the islands a little bit, across the headlands, and on our way to Rothesay, with porpoises and lots of marine life to look at, and glorious weather again. As I say, that's us in Rothesay. Now it's quite a narrow entrance there. You can see just behind you there's a lifting bridge that you have to negotiate, which, being a 46-foot boat, is a bit of a thing. And then there's the Bavaria 46 Calico Moon in Rothesay on the Isle of Bute.